Jeffrey Dahmer, full name Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer, was an American serial killer and sex offender. He was born on May 21, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and died on November 28, 1994, while serving multiple life sentences in prison. Dahmer gained notoriety for committing a series of gruesome murders between 1978 and 1991. His victims were primarily young men, many of whom he lured to his home under the pretense of offering them money, alcohol, or sexual favors. Dahmer's crimes involved rape, dismemberment, necrophilia, and cannibalism. After killing his victims, Dahmer would often preserve their body parts as mementos. He was eventually apprehended in 1991 when one of his intended victims managed to escape, and led police to Dahmer's apartment, where they discovered photographs of dismembered bodies and evidence of his crimes. Dahmer was charged with 17 murders in Wisconsin but confessed to a total of 16. He was convicted and sentenced to 16 life terms in prison, totaling 957 years, although he only served a few years before his murder by a fellow inmate in 1994. His case sparked widespread media attention and controversy due to the nature of his crimes and the revelation of his actions, leading to discussions about mental health, criminal justice, and the treatment of individuals with psychopathic tendencies. Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood seemed relatively normal on the surface. He came from a middle-class family and was described as a shy and introverted child. However, there were signs of disturbing behavior from an early age. As a child, Dahmer was fascinated with dead animals and would dissect them. He also showed an increasing interest in graphic and violent pornography during his teenage years. Dahmer's crimes began in 1978 when he was just 18 years old. His first victim was a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks, whom he lured to his home, drugged, and bludgeoned to death. For several years, Dahmer continued to indulge in his dark fantasies and committed a series of murders, often targeting vulnerable individuals, such as prostitutes and young gay men. His modus operandi involved drugging his victims with sedatives and alcohol before carrying out his gruesome acts. Dahmer would then dismember the bodies, keeping certain body parts as souvenirs and disposing of the rest. He also engaged in acts of necrophilia and experimented with preserving body parts using various methods, including acid and chemicals. Dahmer's crimes went unnoticed for many years, partly due to the fact that he was able to convincingly hide his actions from those around him. However, his violent impulses escalated over time, and his activities became increasingly difficult to conceal. In 1991, one of his intended victims managed to escape and alerted the police, leading to Dahmer's arrest. During his trial, Dahmer confessed to the murders and provided chilling details of his crimes. He claimed to have developed an overpowering compulsion to kill and a desire to possess his victims even after their deaths. He also expressed remorse and a desire for punishment. The case generated significant media attention, both nationally and internationally. Due to the shocking nature of Dahmer's crimes and the gruesome details that emerged during the investigation and trial, it raised important discussions about the nature of evil, the psychology of serial killers, and the failures of the criminal justice system in identifying and stopping such individuals. Dahmer's life came to an end on November 28, 1994, when he was beaten to death by another inmate at the Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage, Wisconsin. His crimes continue to fascinate and horrify people, serving as a chilling reminder of the capacity for human depravity.